this spot might be in over his head.
And there's the final horse, Kid Rigo. Expect him to show some speed as well.
Let's go upstairs for the call of the race with Tom Durkin. They're in the gate. And they're off. A stutter step start for Kid Rigo. Scorpion comes out in stride, and so too does Free of Love. Congaree away third as the field moves into the clubhouse turn. And Free of Love trying to clear Scorpion. And Free of Love steps out now to lead by a length and a half. Congaree is sitting back in second now. And then Scorpion runs along on the inside, third by 2. A.P. Valentine is kept within close relative striking range early. He's only 5 lengths from the lead through the first quarter mile. And then it's Indigo Shiner down toward the rail. And long shot Kid Rigo is the trailer after a quarter in 24 1/5 seconds. The field moving down the backstretch. It's Free of Love in front. Gary Stevens keeping Congaree sitting back second by 2.5 lengths. And then Scorpion, who continues to run along in third. A.P. Valentine now about 7 lengths from the lead. And Congaree is taken over. Congaree is taken over with 5 furlongs to go. The half goes in 47 4/5 seconds. And Congaree is in command. 2 to 5 at the half-mile pole. The leader now by length. Free of Love is second by another 7. Scorpion is third. It's another 3.5 lengths back to A.P. Valentine. Victor Espinoza asking a lot from him now. They're at the midway point on the turn, and Free of Love has come again. To head Congaree. Free of Love has a head in front at the quarter pole. Congaree held the lead on the turn, but he's second as the field turns for home. A.P. Valentine very wide. Scorpion is third. A.P. Valentine is fourth. And it is Free of Love who's coming to the 8th pole with the lead. Free of Love 29 to 1 in front by 3. Congaree not going to get it down. He won't get second. Here comes Scorpion to try to reel in Free of Love. Free of Love in front. Scorpion driving hard. It's going to be a dead tight photo that goes to Scorpion. Scorpion has won it. Free of Love is second. 5 lengths back to Congaree, who could only manage third today. A.P. Valentine was fourth. A shocking upset here at the Spa. Congaree looked like a sure winner on the far turn, but then Free of Love comes back, and Free of Love gets nipped by Scorpion, Jerry Bailey, and D. Wayne Lucas on the line. Absolutely unbelievable. You can hear it in Tom Durkin's voice. That's Wayne Lucas. He won the Jim Dandy back in '89 with Is It's True. That was the '88 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Hero. And for Wayne Lucas on your screen there, it's his first graded stakes of this year in the Classic Division. And for Jerry Bailey, back-to-back Jim Dandies. Unbelievable.
Wayne Lucas should get a standing ovation from the Saratoga crowd. Charismatic, commendable. You can just add Scorpion to the list of shockers that Wayne Lucas has pulled off. I was just thinking, this horse is 11 to 1 on the board. If it weren't for Lucas and Bailey, if handicappers were just looking at the paper on this horse's performances as a 3-year-old, he would deserve to be 30 or 40 to 1. And he rallies from off the pace. You got to hand it to D. Wayne. And there is jockey Jerry Bailey, winning for the 2nd straight year. Jerry, you got to be surprised.
Well, I'm very happy. I know that.
Did he settle off the pace as nicely as you expected? I mean, were you expecting him that kind of a finish for a horse coming off a 6-furlong sprint going a mile and a furlong?
Well, you know, he got squeezed. The horse that ended up second squeezed him in the first turn, so I ended up kind of a little farther back than I thought. But for whatever reason, Congaree took off like a bat out of hell at about the 4.5, and those two just cooked from the 4.5 to probably the 3/16 pole. And it took its toll on him.
Well, you've certainly been the recipient of some of Wayne Lucas's surprises. Grindstone comes to mind. You can never count a D. Wayne horse out in a race like this, can you?
No, he comes up big when the money's down.
Well, congratulations. We're just looking at it again as Scorpion runs down Free of Love in the last few yards. Wow.
Jerry, you've said many times this is the one meet here at Saratoga that you point to win. You've had 3 winners today, and you came here not necessarily optimistic, but I mean, what a start, huh?
Yeah, well, I was out of town at Belmont a lot, and it was slow, so I didn't expect a really good beginning here, but it's been a lot better than I anticipated.
Any designs on the Travers in 3 weeks with that horse you're aboard?
Well, the funny thing is I got a horse called E. Dubai that's pointing toward the same race. I think I'll have to sit down and talk to my agent about it and see which way we're going to go.
Just like Hollywood, everybody's got to talk to their agent. Jerry Bailey leading in the jockey standings here. And how about Lucas? Wayne scratched the horse yesterday from the Amsterdam to run here. Went up against the 2 to 5 chalk Congaree and handed in his E6 with composer Graham Hall last. And, you know, you look at Scorpion. I mean, Randy, you and I were there for the Santa Anita Derby. 14 lengths behind Point Given there. 3 stakes races this year. Scorpion 5th, 6th, and 6th in all 3 by at least 12, 13, 14 lengths. Unbelievable.
As Wayne Lucas was explaining to me just yesterday morning, Scorpion went into the Santa Anita Derby with a minor quarter crack or cracked hoof. It was nothing terribly serious, he felt. Went ahead and ran him in the Santa Anita Derby, and the quarter crack just blew up on him during that race. It really became a serious problem as a result. And so because of that, they had to give him some time off. So he had an excuse for that race, at least. And Bob said one of the reasons he ran him in this race is because he could get Jerry Bailey. And there's the happy owners, you see, who are all involved in some way or another right now with New York City off-track betting. David Kornstein, who is the chairman of New York City OTB. And then there's Robert Baker and William Mack, who were part of the group that was recently given the bid by Mayor Rudy Giuliani to purchase New York City OTB, along with Frank Stronach's Magna Entertainment. So an OTB winner's circle right there. As we take one more look now at, you can just call this the anatomy of an upset. Scorpion is in post number 3. You heard Jerry Bailey mention as he was galloping back that he got pitched off a little bit. Everyone was expecting Scorpion to show more early speed than he did, and the question was just if he'd be able to hang on. What happened, though, is he gets shuffled back a little bit on the first turn, although nothing really serious there, and he finished a lot stronger than most people had expected. Really a surprise here. You know, Lucas said one of the other things he was talking about was that if he had a 900 number and he took a poll each race as to whether he should run horses like Charismatic in the Derby or Grindstone in the Derby or Commendable in the Belmont and listen to the so-called experts in the public, he never would have run any of those horses. So this is how he's basically made his names, by winning races like this when no one thought that he had a chance. And doggone it, he does it again.
Just to put a period on your OTB story, I mean, obviously Magna got the bid, but safe to say it's been mixed results so far. It still has to get by the state lawmakers and Governor Pataki, and with strong union opposition in New York, well, as they say, stay tuned, film at 11. A huge price, Scorpion, $25 to win, $10 to place, $210 in the short field, but a major upset. He's got a very happy Wayne Lucas.
Very happy indeed. Wayne, congratulations.
Thank you, Jack.
You're a magician, I'm telling you. Now, tell us about this horse.
Well, you know, we sometimes will step up to the plate, but not without a lot of thought and planning. And this horse has done very, very well, especially since he got up here at Saratoga. What happened earlier in the year, he had a quarter crack, Jack, and we had to let it grow out. I thought he would make the Derby for us, and it just wasn't in the cards, but he's good now.
But he had trained very well coming into this race today, hadn't he?
Yes, and he had run a very, very good prep race at Belmont with Jerry, and we had thought about going short, and then I thought, in light of the fact that this is now a Grade 1, and that's Saratoga in a career-making race in a lot of ways, I thought it was worth the risk to go in here, and we do well when we're long shots.
Now, what are you going to do with him now?
Well, we'll go right into the Travers, because actually I think he needed this one, and I say that humbly because he did beyond what I had hoped for, but humbly saying that I think that he deserves a shot at the Travers, and we'll get them all together on that day.
Well, he's certainly a great winner for the Jim Dandy Stakes. Not 100 to 1, but a very, very exciting day. Wayne, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so happy for the owners. They've been so patient with him, and it's very gratifying to have it happen.
Thank you, Rick. Chelsea?
That's nice. We're going to say nice things.
Well, the owners are pretty happy themselves. Thanks very much. This is David Kornstein, Bob Baker, his wife Christina. Congratulations to you all. Everybody was just kind of shaking and trembling.
What a day. What an experience. It's just unbelievable. This horse showed so much heart today, and in his last race also, we just couldn't be happier. It's a fabulous, fabulous day.
Well, and Wayne Lucas just said, Bob, that you all will be running in the Travers. How do you feel about that?
That's terrific. We're sorry our other partner, Bill Mack, isn't here. He had to be out of town. This is Seattle's slew that should be able to run a mile in an eighth, but he's never been able to because he always flips his palate and isn't able to breathe after he goes around the far turn. But between Jerry Bailey and Wayne Lucas, they figured out how to make it all better, and I think we have a hell of a horse on our hands.
Right. This is a horse who had never been on the board in a distance race and had always been on the board in a three-quarter race, and yet he blows him away at 1 1/8 miles today.
Yep. Well, this is, we've been here a lot of times with horses, but this is our first win, I think, in Saratoga. But we picked the right race to win, and we have the best trainer, the best jockey, we have the best partners, and we're real happy about today. It couldn't be better.
And you have had a pretty busy week this week. Would you like to make a brief statement about your OTB situation?
Well, I'm thrilled that that OTB became an entity that was viable for a sale from an entity that was losing money. And I wish the Magna Group the best of luck with it. It's not a done deal yet, and we'll see what happens with the legislation. But it's a real nice difference from having something that you couldn't give away to something that has a value of close to $400 million for the city of New York, and I'm real proud of that.
In the meantime, enjoy your victory today. Very well done. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very, very much.
Chelsea, it was a wonderful week for us. First, the mayor gave us the OTB bid, and secondly, winning the Jim Dandy. You can't ask for more than that.
Right. And we'll go back now to our own Jim Dandy.
Few down the road think that deal will get done with Albany unless Giuliani's the mayor and they get all the voting accomplished. The full order of finish. Scorpion there. You thought Congaree made a premature move, huh?
Gary Stevens, of course, was trying to break it wide open at the 5 furlong pole. Jerry Bailey even alluded to that as he was galloping back. Right here, you see Stevens aggressively move to Free of Love, and he's going to get criticized for this because there was still 5 furlongs left to go. I know what he was thinking. He was trying to break the race wide open up with Congaree, let him have a breather maybe, and just go on with it. But Free of Love was a lot peskier, I think, than Stevens had calculated. And not only could he not put him away, but Free of Love actually came back on Congaree and put ahead in front. Congaree just was not up to that kind of a challenge today.
So Scorpion for D. Wayne Lucas. What an upset. You've already heard that Scorpion will be headed for the Travers. We'll have that for you on our Road to the World Thoroughbred Championship Series. And